So you want to know more about Firefly? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Firefly in a nutshell, where I talk about the ins and outs of a character. And in today's video, I'll be talking about Firefly, the new 5-star destruction character. We'll be talking about her skills, best Lightcones, strongest relics you can play her with, and finally teammates you should definitely run Firefly with. And with all that said, let's begin with this video. Now, Firefly is the new fire destruction character who does a lot of damage at the expense of her own HP. Her skill, Aerial Bombardment, consumes 40% of her HP while doing a huge amount of damage to a single enemy. While doing this action, she will also generate a fixed amount of energy and will also advance her action by 25%. So you're able to spam this skill, regenerating a lot of energy so that you can enter your ultimate state. Now do note that if she does not have enough HP to use this, she will set her HP to 1 HP if she uses a skill, so that's just something to take note. When you have enough energy, you enter the complete combustion state, and in this state you advance your action speed by 100%, also increase your speed while using your enhanced basic attack and skills, which I'll talk about, and also increase your weakness break efficiency, so you're able to break enemies much faster. You have 2 special attacks in this skill. The first one is your special basic attack, which basically just restores your HP while doing a chunk of damage to a single enemy. Her enhanced skill is the one you want to be using, especially when you're playing Firefly. You basically restore HP as well, but when attacking enemies, you will apply fire weakness to a single enemy and will be doing fire damage equal to your break effect and your attack to combine together to a blast radius. So you'll be able to deal damage to up to 3 enemies. Now this is the main way you'll be doing damage, and it's very good because you also apply fire weakness, so you're able to break much more efficiently with Firefly. Finally, her technique, Meteoric Incineration, or as I would like to call it, Meteor Strike. Basically, she just leaps in the air and comes crashing down after 5 seconds. When she starts to fight, she does fire damage to all enemies, and the best part is she applies fire weakness to all enemies as well. A very good way for her to start breaking those defenses and start dealing a lot of damage. So after reviewing her skill, what is the best way we can go about building for Firefly? Now, it's very important to note that she skills of attack and break effect, so you want to be focusing most of your attention in this aspect as well. For her Lightcones, her strongest Lightcone is obviously her signature Lightcone, where about shoot dreams rest. Although this Lightcone does not give a lot of attack, it does give a huge amount of break effect, which she will in turn do a lot more damage to the enemy. And on top of that, she also lowers down the speed of the enemy, which is a very unique passive, meaning that boss fights and mostly your pure fiction fights and Forgotten Hall fights will be completely different in the run whenever you use this Lightcone, because now enemies take lesser action because their action speed is slowed down. There might be some changes to the fight, and in turn it's just better for your team because your team is able to go faster and have more turns in the enemy. Another 5-star Lightcone you can consider is something irreplaceable. If you're worried about her taking too much damage and killing herself in the fight, this Lightcone can somehow help you, because whenever you defeat an enemy or get hit, you will restore a percentage amount of HP, and in turn this Lightcone gives a lot of attack, which is very good for Firefly. So this is something you can definitely use for her if you're a little bit worried about her HP. The free-to-play Lightcone from the simulated universe on the Fall of an Aeon is just very good. Whenever you attack, you increase your attack, which is just a stat that Firefly wants, and you also further increase your damage whenever you weakness break an enemy, which is something that Firefly will eventually do very easily because of her kit and because of her teammates that you will be running her with. So this is something you can consider as well. For 4-star Lightcones, there are a few options you can consider. The first one is Flame Safar. Basically, whenever you use your HP, you will immediately heal a percentage of your max HP and also increase the damage you deal for 2 turns. This is very good. The only setback is that this effect can only trigger every 3 turns. So for that 1 turn, you won't be able to use the passive at all. But if you don't have any of the other 4-star Lightcones I'm going to talk about, or you don't have any of the 5-star Lightcones available for your Firefly, you can consider using this Lightcone, although that 1 turn that you're not able to use the Lightcone is gonna be very iffy and you won't be doing a lot of damage. So this is not very consistent, but it's something you can consider if you need Lightcone on Firefly. Another Lightcone you can use is Indelible Promise. This one increases her break effect, which is something that Firefly wants, and whenever you use your ultimate, which is what Firefly wants as well, you will increase her crit rate by a certain amount. Overall, this Lightcone gives a lot of good stats for Firefly, and when the effects trigger is when Firefly will be doing the most damage. So in general, this is the Lightcone you should be looking for if you're playing Firefly. The only downside is that this is a gacha Lightcone, so if you don't really roll on the Lightcone banner, it's very hard to see this Lightcone in your account, but it's something you can consider if you're going to be playing Firefly. The next Lightcone you can consider for running Firefly with is Nowhere to Run. Nowhere to Run is a battle pass Lightcone, unfortunately, but basically you will increase your attack and also restore your HP whenever you defeat an enemy, which is just a very fantastic way for Firefly to sustain while doing a lot of damage. For the Relic set, her best in slot Relic set in my opinion is a Relic set which comes with the release of Firefly, which is the new Iron Cavalry against the Scourge. This Relic set increases Firefly's break effect and also ignores enemy defense if you hit certain break effect thresholds, which is something you can definitely tailor if you build your Firefly correctly. In comparison to this set, you can also run the Quantum set, which in my opinion is probably more consistent than the Iron Cavalry, but if you can hit the break effect thresholds much more consistently, you will be able to out damage the Quantum set. And the best part is none of the stats you use on this Relic is wasted, unlike the Quantum set where you literally waste the quantum damage portion. So this set is probably by far the strongest set on Firefly. While farming that set, you can obviously use the Thief of Shooting Meteor. This will also increase your break effect and also give you some energy when you weakness break an enemy. So this is something you can use on Firefly while waiting for the Firefly set. But in my opinion, the new set which comes out with Firefly is definitely her best Relic set. You can also use the Fire set, which also increases your damage and increases your fire damage, especially when you use your ultimate. For her Planar Ornaments, similar to her Relic set, the new Planar Ornament which is coming out with Firefly is gonna be her best in slot for Firefly. The Forge of the Kalpagni Lantern. I 100% butchered the name, but basically what this ornament does, it increases your speed, which is very good, and also increases your break effect whenever you hit someone afflicted with the fire weakness, which is something Firefly will inevitably do. This is gonna be her strongest Planar Ornament set for the time being. The next in line for Planar Ornament set you can use her with is the Talia set. This one increases your break effect as well, and if you can hit the speed threshold, you will gain even more break effect, which is something that Firefly wants. However, in my opinion, it does not come close to the new Planar Ornament set because you increase your break effect by 40% as long as you're hitting an enemy fire weakness, which is much more consistent and has probably a higher uptime than the Talia set. And while farming for this set, you can obviously use other sets like Space Sealing Station, Rutilan Arena, but they aren't as good as the new set. For her main stats, you want attack on her body piece, you want speed on the boots, attack for her Planar Ornament. In my opinion, the attack is much more stronger than the fire damage bonus, but obviously if you have better stats for the fire damage bonus, you could probably use that instead. And finally, for the Ling Rope, use break effect. Anything that increases Firefly's break effect is good, so definitely use break effect for your Ling Rope. Now for the teammate section. Now this is probably the biggest problem for Firefly, because if you want to use her optimally, there are very strict conditions for characters you want for a team. The first one is going to be the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer gives her that backup dancer effect, which is essential for Firefly to be doing damage whenever you break an enemy, so that you're able to do that super break damage that she has in her kit as well. And the other essential teammate, in my opinion, is Ronmei. Ronmei gives a huge boost of break efficiency, so that you're able to do that super break damage at the end of the turn. And the best part about Ronmei is that you also extend the duration of doing super break damage. If you want to fully optimize her kit, you definitely want to play her with the Trailblazer and play her with Ronmei. Now the fourth slot, in my opinion, is definitely a sustain character, and you probably want to play an abundance character because you want to heal Firefly. There are situations where the boss just does a lot of damage and Firefly will be taking a lot of damage because she's already harming herself, so you definitely want abundance characters. But if you don't have a lot of abundance characters, you can also just use a preservation character. In my opinion, Fushan is the best, but you can also use a preservation character to keep Firefly alive. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this kind of videos, please do leave a like. It shows me I should do more. Comment down below how your Firefly rolls have went, and finally, please do subscribe. We'll be doing more of this kind of content in the future. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.